when you reflect, divine word from the wise. Never cast your pearls among swine. It's just a waste of time, cause they can't see you shine when you walk amongst the blind. Even when you reflect, divine. Say, the truth is what I'm about to bring. Listen to the message I sing. I want to shine like diamond ring for you, for you, for you. The truth is what I'm about to bring. Listen to the message I sing. I want to shine like diamond ring for you. I want to thank God for the gift that He granted to me, to break down things so you can see the truth, the light, with all my soul. From funk, jazz, and rock and roll, I say we can make rule what's overdue. A revolution you and I may come true. We all born sinner and we won't break free until we overcome hypocrisy. So stop pointing finger, reach to the sky, listen to the message, hold your head high, say na 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 na. Hey, we need to stop speculating and move into action. The war isn't waiting, it's just getting disastrous. Time to change the way we think, what we say, what we do, strategize, find the tools to build and execute. We are the ones that's chosen. The enemy is closing. They got the masses hypnotized. It's time for us to open their eyes. Word from the wise, never catch pearls among swine. It's just a waste of time. You shine when you walk amongst the blind. Even when you reflect, divine. Word from the wise, never catch your pearls among swine. It's just a waste of time, cause they can't see you shine when you walk amongst the blind. Even when you reflect, divine. Word from the wise, never catch your pearls among swine. It's just a waste of time, cause they can't see you shine when you walk amongst the blind. Even when you reflect, divine. Word from the wise, never catch your pearls among swine. It's just a waste of time, cause they can't see you shine when you walk amongst the blind. Even when you reflect, divine. Say, word from the wise, never catch your pearls among swine. It's just a waste of time, cause they can't see you shine when you walk amongst the blind. Even when you reflect, divine. Yeah, word from the wise, never catch your pearls among swine. It's just a waste of time, cause they can't see you shine when you walk amongst the blind. Even when you reflect, divine. Yeah. Word from the wise, never catch your pearls among swine. It's just a waste of time, cause they can't see you shine when you walk amongst the blind. Even when you reflect, divine. Word from the wise, never catch your pearls among swine. It's just a waste of time, cause they can't see you shine when you walk amongst the blind. Even when you reflect, divine. Say, the truth is what
to have melanin embedded in our skin is a gift.
Oh my gosh, when I say too black, you say too strong. Too black?
Too strong?
Yeah.
We were born to be great.
Oh my gosh, when I say too black, you say too strong. Too black?
Born to be great.
Peace, family. Yo, thank you for joining us. Right? And I'm thrilled to announce the fact that we are now releasing our first free e-course. Come and learn about Geometry Journey. See some of the stuff we do. Come and join the tribe. Tribe up with us and check out the free e-course. We'll make sure that the URL pop up right about here. And it'll probably be somewhere in here. Check us out, family, because we are building. Come and learn about Geometry Journey, and let's build together.
Women, but the most important goddesses were black, not just for the African now in the civilization of the Greek. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey, the woman who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her, is Circe, who is represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the Golden Fleece is a black woman, Medea. The woman who marries Perseus, the Greek hero, is a
Community bank invest in the community. It's not enough just to make loans in the community.
Lovely thing about the community bank is they know what you're kind of going through.
We use every facet, from truck loans to equipment loans. They feel like part of my team.
Community Bank has been an important part of our growth and success.
The community bank is trying to grow the community. No matter what happens, they'll always be my first call.
All experiences are positive. I mean, I've never had a bad experience with Community Bank.
He's putting up tomatoes on your sandwich.
He's putting out chill. I'm sitting there today. She doing the first breakfast, and we just chilling. So I'm gonna just. Oh, y'all make quiet now because y'all think I'm recording. Keep on talking. Nah, go ahead. I just wanted to get the festivities.
I hope I'm good enough to get on your blog, brother.
Oh yeah, I'm on
the Capshaw, United States Special Forces, Kelvin D. Moore, descendants of the great Moore tribe.
Warrior King.
Yeah, I'm a living warrior king.
Look, you keep saying that with power. Warrior King. I'm one of the last warriors.
Man, it's a spin that weigh 80 pounds and he can throw 80 yards.
I'm saying, I got his book. You ever read the book, the Moore in Spain? I'm familiar with it, though. I'm very familiar with it. I ain't read it.
Story about my great grandfather.
Okay. What did he do?
He was a warrior king.
Okay. Oh, he was a warrior king?
He was the last warrior king. Two warrior kings.
What did he do?
He would lead them into battle. He'd be the first one to throw the first blow. His spear, they say his spear weighed up to 80 pounds, but he can throw it 100 yards.
Okay.
With one thrust, go through the lion. His spear went through a lion.
Okay. Hey, I wish we could throw bills like that. I got a little white bill. I can't throw 10 yards. I just don't make standard. Oh, man.
That's why my not going to do it in the army, man. You have to be able to throw at least 50 yards.
I couldn't do it. He left me back.
Yeah, you had to stay at home and kids, man. Just kids like.
Oh, better yet, let the kids keep you alive.
So I think how often do you blog about Simba?
I blog about Simba, I blog about doing the Columbus, I blog about whatever pops up. All my blogs, I usually base them on like haikus. So I get motivated by a haiku, write me a little haiku. Haiku is a poem. It has 3 lines. Each line, first line is broken down to 5 syllables. Second line is 7 syllables. Third line 5 syllables.
Yeah, is that a poem?
Yeah, it's a Japanese poem poetry. They usually do it about nature, but I call it a haiku. You know, I got my own spin.
Right.
I told them to talk about the streets, talk about whatever moves. Okay.
Let me hear one.
All right, haiku. Hold on. Let me stop this. Say.
Community was just hands down. That was our choice. It was a no-brainer. It's like a friendship thing to me.
It makes it so nice dealing with people that have the same values as you.
I feel that Community Bank does care about not only my business, but me personally.
Community Bank still has enough power, but small enough to have personal touch.
They're working with you. They're like the old-time bank. When I first started, that's the way the old banks used to be. The community seems to be that bank, the same old bank.
Peace, this brother Hartim with Gianni Talks. I'm sitting here with 2 of my elders. Going to break it down a little bit about Simba and the future, as well as the present. Maybe we might even get to some of the past of Simba. I'm sitting here with Elder Gaylord Thomas, Elder Shedrick Sanders, and first question I got is, what do y'all see for the future of Simba? Simba Nation. Just go on and talk, because I got y'all. You want to go first?
First of all, thank you, Brother Hartim. It's an honor to be in your presence, and an honor to have the opportunity to talk to you and to your group of comrades and followers. What I want to say is that in one way, our futures manifested itself 4 years ago, and we've gone to the next level because we've been blessed to have a girls' side of this program called SIMSA, which is Safe in My Sister's Arms. So in a lot of ways, in my mind, For the 18-year walk I've been with this process, I think we became whole 4 years ago when our women came on strong and started their own program and sort of integrated that with our program. And so I really feel like we've become a whole nation before we would have, because we live under the virtue that our women hold up at least 75% of the sky.
Yeah, I agree with that. Mr. Shedrick, I'm honored to be on your show. I've followed you for a long time, and I've seen you grow and grow and grow, and I see you as part of that future. The new leadership that's coming up, young people that got the technical savvy like you had to be able to do shows and things like this. It's going to be the ability to get the word out, raise more funds. I see one of these days you and Hill and many of the young leaders running the camp full-time, year-round. All kinds of kids coming through and building stronger and stronger leadership.
Thank you, Gaylord, again. The second part of the answer is this program is very unique, and the obstacle that apparently has stopped us from growing at the rapid rate that we should have grown to have a program that's this effective in healing the pain in our black community is we have a program that we bring into a particular facility, and we run the program pretty much autonomously within that facility. And the difficulty is most camping facilities write a contract for their staff, and they have to keep staff on and paid. When we come, we don't need staff. So it's caused quite a dilemma, and very difficult for us to find a location to provide this healing process. So for me, the future is land ownership so that we can have control. And as my brother Shed has said, we need to run a year-round camp, environmentally sound, ecologically in sync with nature, very green, self-containing, and we can go to the next level. We can actually teach a regular skill base to our young assemblies and to those who fall into the safety nets of American society, that they may return and be able to fit better into society and be more resourceful in their communities. So to answer your question very simply, we need land very badly, and if anybody in the listening audience has help for us or might have a site that's willing to work with us, we'd ask you to please reach out to High Tim and give him the information so we can go out and check it out and see if it fits our needs. Ashe.
Ashe. All right, now the next piece is a message for nation builders, because it's pretty much coming down to our watch, at least this generation of nation builders, because Simba's been around for 18 years. What message do you have for them as far as the raising of funds? Some advice that y'all might have as far as us doing it, as far as us getting out and being able to produce what we need for this nation. What message do you have for the nation builders? Anybody want to go first?
Two points for the nation builders. First point is, in a lot of ways, our time is up. In a lot of ways, we as elders have almost run our cycle out. We found our roles. We found different roles than from the original roles that we had. We provide a leadership role, a visionary role, a directional role, an organizer role, a coordinator's role in this whole process. But now all of us have found our niche, and we're just a part of this whole circle rather than being in the middle of it. And it's a healthy feeling. I think it's a maturity and it's a growth for us as nation builders. We've had to put our egos in check. We've had to put our old school values and our traditional ways, Western traditional ways aside, and embrace some Eastern ways from our African context and our African origins that have allowed us to step back now and let this next generation walk. So I say to the nation builders, we've given you that space. Don't abuse it. Don't take it for granted, and know that this is yours now. And if we miss it, it's your watch. Because in reality, you are the ones we've been talking about, and you are the ones that we've been waiting for. You are the leaders of tomorrow, and you're here, and now it's your time. It's step up and take advantage. Peace.
Yes, it's Cedric again. And just yesterday I was thinking about it. I was so proud when I saw these nation builders running these games and doing these things that oftentimes used to fall on me to do. And I keep saying, you know, you can do this. Do this with your tribe. Do this. And I'm so proud and happy to see that people are coming in with activities that they've learned during the winter, and they're searching for things that they can be able to do and use to the benefit of the children. And I'm encouraging them to do more of that, to learn more about children, more about the development, more about themselves, and more about what's happening to our children, so they can better able to guide them and lead them in a direction that's really positive and helpful for them in their own creative way. So it's like I encourage them to you know, like I said, you know, read the Boy Scout manual, look at the Girl Scout stuff, look at the Outward Bound, look at different programs that have been successful in working with different kinds of people, and make connections, make alliances, find out who our allies are in this fight to save our children. Because there's a lot of people out there who see that their children are dying too. So we can find the allies, find the activities, get the information, and grow.
Last thing and most important thing is a message for the Simbas, because my battery running low. I don't know why my battery running low, but do y'all have a specific message for the Simbas? Because I'm getting back and I'm going to use my social network to do fundraising all year round, start with myself. But what message would you have for the incoming Simbas? The Simbas not yet here. And better yet, let's do it like this. For the Simbas that this is their first year and we want them to come back, what message do y'all have as elders for them?
That's a difficult one. There's a lot of things I'd like to say to those coming in, but I guess to make this real short and simple is I would hope that they would listen to those who've been before them and take them at their word and not be skeptics in understanding what healing process they went through, what benefits and what transformation they had to, what transformation they've gone through in their experiences at Simbaland, and take that to heart and understand it. And if they come open like that and free and are ready to be healed, they'll have a much better experience. But if you come with skepticalism and you bring that stuff off the block, you got a chip on your shoulder, you're not going to have a good time here at Simba. And it'll only be a good summer.
Well, I say open up your mind. Trust the process. Don't be afraid to fail. Make new friends. Get to know as many people as you possibly can. Develop that network, because we can't do anything by ourselves. Everything I've done in my life, somebody else taught me about it. I learned from them. I give myself credit for listening and taking their advice. And I offer that to you. Listen to the people. Pay attention to them. Take what you can use. Put aside what you can't use. But the thing is, we're here to help you to learn, to grow, and be a better human being. And want that for yourself. And do the best you can to get there.
It's been Giami Journey. I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in. Check this broadcast out and more podcasts, and you grow with us. And also check out my blog at giamijourney.blogspot.com. I'm going to have some write-ups I ain't been able to get to the internet while I've been out here, but it's a beautiful time. So check us out. With that, I say peace.
Community was just hands down. That was our choice. It was a no-brainer. It's like a friendship thing to me.
It makes it so nice dealing with people that have the same values as you.
I feel that Community Bank does care about not only my business, but me personally.
Community Bank still has enough power, but small enough to have personal touch.
They're working with you. They're like the old-time bank. When I first started, that's the way the old banks used to be. And Community seems to be that bank, the same old bank.
community bank invest in the community. It's not enough just to make loans in the community.
Lovely thing about the community bank is they know what you're kind of going through.
We use every facet, from truck loans to equipment loans. They feel like part of my team.
Community Bank has been an important part of our growth and success.
The community bank is trying to grow the community. No matter what happens, they'll always be my first call.
All experiences are positive. I mean, I've never had a bad experience with community bank.
Each of us has a purpose. We are destined to do something meaningful, not only to support our loved ones, but to positively impact our communities throughout the country. What do you think a private Christian education looks like? Grand Canyon University offers over 175 high-quality online programs across 9 colleges. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu.
It's Tim with another Giammi Talks. Today I'm talking with Mr. Leroy Thornton. Mr. Thornton is administrator over at the Millennium Community School in Columbus, Ohio, and he's a master at what he does. He motivates young people to do incredible things. So right now, I'm talking with Mr. Thornton, and the first question I have for you, Mr. Thornton, is, first off, you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been working with children for about, 15, 17 years, anywhere from social service to educational setting to incarceration. So I've been doing this for about 17 years, all spectrums, all ages, and all walks of life.
Cool. The first question that we ask on Giammi Talks is, in the rites of passage process, one of the first things that we go through, or the self-mastery process, one of the first things we go through is separation. Can you think of a major point in your life where you decided that you was going to separate yourself from the regular stuff that other people did that makes them unsuccessful and start doing something different that made you start shining a little bit more in life?
So you want to know when, at what point?
Yeah, it could be because you go through it several different times, but what's a major one that comes up to your mind?
Oh man, there's so many of them. Just, I guess, with the time when I chose to check from high school going to college, like letting people know, because everybody didn't think that I was going to be able to make it to college and even succeed. So at that point, I had to tell myself, you have to make a conscious decision to determine and decide which way you want your life to go. And even then, you're not even sure, because people just tell you to go to college, but they don't tell you what to do when you get there.
Right.
So one of the things that I did was, as long as I got there, I could figure out where I needed to go, and at what point I needed to go. So that was one pivotal point in my life where I decided, like, the first was college, and next is just when you graduate, what do you do? Everybody's still doing the same thing when you graduate, so you figure out, let me decide, because you have a choice, so it's that have and have-nots, and I wanted to have, I'm still have it, I'm still trying to reach that have point.
So for you, it was deciding to go to college, and in a sense separating yourself from the stuff that you used to do and change your mind state. Now, the next piece is initiation. In initiation, you've been through several initiations in your life, and what was a major initiation that you may have went through, and what was the secrets that you pulled from it that gave you the ability to affect people in the way that you affect them?
Well, one of the initiations that I remember was just an initiation between me and my dad. Going from like a boys to men. The reason why I do some of the things that I do now is because, although he didn't raise me, but one of the challenges that was going on between he and I was just trying to become a man. So one day I bucked the system and that's when he separated from the men from me and the boys. So anytime he had told me, anytime that I wanted to cross that line to in manhood, he'd be right there. But if I wanted to stay a child, let me know, So, and what he did was, I was just playing with him, punching on him or just hitting. I was doing something that I shouldn't have been doing. So he punched me back. But only he didn't stop. He just kept doing it. Not hard, but just consistently. Until then I was like, okay, I'm ready to quit. And he was like, nah. He's like, nah. He kept going because he knew I was challenging, but I wasn't able to, adhere to the challenge. So he let me know, like, I'm a grown man. Merge with nobody. So I merged with the community when I wanted to be merging with corporate. So that was deep right there. Merge with the community, but I really wanted to merge with corporate because that's what the way the world is running, corporate mentality. But they can't run corporately without the community.
Right. All right. I'd like to thank Mr. Thornton for joining us on Giammi Talks. Hopefully you got something out of there, but I'm going to stress this. This is the second person in the interview that mentioned something about networking. All right? So hopefully those with ears heard, and with that I say peace.
I never take pictures of cigarettes, sir.
This is Brother Hatem, and I'm here again with another Giammi Talk. I'm up here at Timberland, talking with one of my good friends, Brother Kelvin Moore. I'm going to have him tell you a little bit about himself and his history. Go ahead, Mr. Kelvin.
And then we get into the interview. Like you said, my name is Kelvin Moore. This is this would be my 9th year with Simba. And just as usual, I'm always excited to be a part of the program. It's such a positive program for an Afrocentric group to look out and reach out to the young brothers. I'm happy to be here. I'm proud to be here. I look forward to the children come.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, your history. I understand you used to play ball, and baseball. What's going on with that?
Well, actually, I'm glad you mentioned that because it's been killing me to tell y'all about my batting average that still stands untouched in the Big Ten, a 333.9 batting average. You could go ahead and say 334, but they don't do that. I like to tell you guys about me winning the Orange Bowl with Purdue my sophomore year. 6 sacks in that game, 28 tackles. It's not a record, but it's a heck of a stack for your first bowl. I didn't know I was going to be a part of Simba then, but I always had Simba in my heart.
All right, we usually on Giammi Talks we talk about people that are successful, and I view you as someone that's successful, and I want to make sure I define that once again for everybody that's listening. Successful don't necessarily mean that I'm sitting with a millionaire, which is a possibility because I'll be hearing about all the shit he got. But success is somebody that's happy in their life at this point in time. And the first question I want to ask you is, what happened in your life far as the separation phase of rites of passage? What happened that made you want to separate yourself from the regular stuff that we see in our neighborhoods and the streets? What was an essential wake-up call? What separated you and made you feel that you had to do something different with yourself? What was, if you could remember one of those memories and share and tell that story?
Well, Brother Hatem had asked me to tell you guys a little bit about myself. I would start off, because this plays a major role in why I did turn and decide to separate myself from my environment and society's view of what I should be. I grew up in projects in Chicago, Illinois, called the IDB Wells. You know, coming up in there, a lot of people would say it's a rough, but to me, I still believe that I had a great childhood, although seeing some of the things that I seen did make me make the decision, you know, just to see the struggle that my people were going through, just to have a meal on the table every night. I always felt like I wanted to do something where I could provide meals for several families. And my best thing was what my granddad always told me was my brain. My brain would get me farther than the average American could ever go. So after hearing him say that, I wasn't completely sure what he meant. So I had joined a group of guys in the neighborhood. They were drug dealers, gangbangers, but they made a lot of money. And all I had to do was share my brain and give them a strategy for the organization to work, and they would pay me for it. But then, just one morning, I got up and I realized that all my strategic tactics are showing them how to, incorporate this criminal organization. It really wasn't helping my people, no matter how much money they would give me to feed kids, give kids money to get clothes for school, and to me, I still felt a sense of emptiness. So I decided that I was going to kind of stretch out on my own and come up with my own way, and my way was educating the people of the community. So that's when I decided of going to school and taking all the educational courses that I took, and here I am today.
So you said you had an awakening after you felt the emptiness inside. So it was the emptiness that pushed you to start your journey that got you where you are now.
Yes, I felt empty. I felt like I wasn't full. It was something missing, and to me, it was like this has to be fulfilled. These are the things I feel that God put me here for. I know that my purpose is to teach, but to teach in a broad variety of ways, not the traditional way of just through a book, but actually getting up close and personal. And somebody helps me to do that.
All right, so now on to the next phase. We talk about the initiation. What was your initiation into your new life? What secrets were you able to pick from this that made you be able to be successful at where you are now in your life? Through your initiation, can you give us a story about that, Lou?
Well, I like to say that I don't know if it's much of a secret as it's just a hidden truth that they don't let us know, is that life is all about the choices that you make. So I decided that I had to make the right choices. No matter how much I didn't like them, I had to go with the force of good over the force of evil. And that just meant that I had to make the right choices. Even when I know it, I can make either choice. I know I can do bad and be successful if I wanted to. But being good and being successful fills me. It fills that emptiness, that void that I had inside me.
So we made it past the initiation phase, and you said the initiation for you was realizing that the force of good always overcomes the force of evil. So you start using your mind to help guide that. Can you give us a specific instance or a specific lesson? Was it a conversation, because you mentioned your grandfather earlier, was it a conversation that made the light come on? What ordeal did you go through that said, dude, you know what I'm saying, it's something else out here?
Actually, there is, and it does pertain to my granddad. When Mo, when he first introduced the Bible to me, I was only 6 years old, and the understanding part, it just wasn't there. He always taught me to just read the passages, whatever it is, Proverbs, Psalms, just read them over and over till the Lord gives me understanding. There's this particular one where King Solomon talks about, well, it's more famous with the one that Jesus talks about, where when he comes up to the fig tree and he's hungry, and he hasn't eaten in days, and he just wanted a little snack to get him to the village, to hold him off till he got to the village. But when he came across this fig tree, it was all withered, rotten, and he made the point to the disciples. He turned to him and he said, Here on earth there is good and there's bad. He said, the bad is just going to be a bad seed. There's no matter what they do, even when they try to do good, they'll always turn out to be bad. When I realized things with me, even when I was doing bad, it always turned out to be good. And so if I just focused on doing the good, the differences that I can make in lives and in the country and in the world. So, in essence, I guess, yeah, my granddad, he introduced that to me, and I knew then that I was a good seed, and that's the road I should travel.
So your initiation was, even though you say it wasn't a major secret, for a lot of people, some of this stuff that we talking about is a major secret. You saying that your grandfather introduced a book to you called the Bible, that you was able to read the passages and wait for the understanding.
Yes.
So you practiced patience.
Yes.
You learned through repetition.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! All right.
Researched and reproved for the understanding.
All right, cool. Last phase, reintroduction. Now, once you changed, how did you introduce yourself to the world? How did you reveal this new light? Because, you know, people want to hold on to the old Calvins and the old Hatims, and they want you to be what they remember you to be. How did you introduce this new being to the world?
It's interesting that I was just thinking that. It's interesting you would ask me that, Hatim, because I was just thinking that, brother. I was saying to myself, I think about this all the time, so almost on a daily basis. When I first came home as a graduate of Purdue University, and the guys, they looked at me different. Believe it or not, these same guys who I had been running the streets with, who honored me when I was running the streets with them, now came home with this degree and championship rings, and they looked at me as if I was weak because I had done this. I actually got into physical altercations with these guys over this. And it wasn't until I realized that what they saw in me is something that they wanted. So I decided, when they wanted me, no, come on back to the streets, man. You got that degree. I know you're even smarter than you were before now. We can really open up shop. We can take this citywide. We take over the whole city. I told them this. I said, instead of helping you criminalize even better, make your organization even broader, what I'll do is I'll teach your children for you, and so that they can have a better future than we did. So I decided to go teach in the public schools in the city of Chicago to try to make a difference and to help my friends in a different way. And to me, and to the children, and even now today to them, that was the best thing I could have done for my community.
All right, we'd like to thank you, Mr. Moore, and we took them through the whole process. Hopefully you got something there that you can glean from and get the information you need. And remember, you know, if you don't write your story, somebody else will. So take time to write your story. Take yourself through the same process: separation, initiation, reintroduction, because we go through this several times in our lives, and we need to pinpoint this for ourselves so that we can map out our lives. What is the end of your tale? What is the end of your epic journey? You can write that right now. So with that, this is Hatim with Gianni Talks, and I'm off. Peace. This is Hatim once again, and I'm sitting over at the Baba's house. He up here cooking us a meal. I'm about to have a meeting. We're going to December in the next couple of days, so we're trying to get things together. But I wanted to interview him on Gianni Talks so that, you know, we can see, we can hear his story, because y'all know how I stress the importance of a story. So I ain't going to interrupt his cooking. You keep on moving, because the mic is good. But basically, with Gianni Talks, I should have talked with you before I started taping. What I do is I talk about individuals' lives and the steps of rites of passage, and we try to make it between 5 and 10 minutes. I know you in your 70s. You go as long as you want.
I hear what you're saying. Right.
Right.
Okay.
So the first question I usually ask is, when did you mature to a point where you started separating yourself so that you can have the success in your life that you exhibit right now?
Well, I think it started when I started with this PhD program at Ohio State University. They said I had my master's, that was fine, but a doctor in philosophy, and I said to myself, well, if I got a doctorate, that means I must know something. So I started then incorporating, even way before then, I hate to say that, Afrocentric, because it's just natural for me, the way of living, eating, and even my attitude about things. For example, I think there should be a council of elders to interview me to find out what I'm doing to maintain my relationship in the community. But instead, I got to go to classes with somebody I don't know and prove a point, pay them $250 to get all these credit hours, which is crazy for me. So I'm not doing that currently. But because Afrocentrically, it should be a council of elders. Anybody 50, 60, 70, I don't care, to sit down and talk to me and say, Dr. Donnelly, what have you been doing? Okay, we give you the okay to continue what you're doing. But it's not like that. But hopefully one of these days it'll be that way.
Oh, it's going to be that way.
Yeah. So, consequently, I've had every credential you can think of. In fact, I'm going to make one for myself.
That's the key.
The one I'm talking about now is, what does it really mean to be an elder? Not an older. It's a big difference.
All right, hold on. You mentioned elder and older. For
yes.
people that is just now tuning in and it's going to be listening, because this is going to be on my site for a while, could you define or talk about the difference between an older and an elder?
All right. Dr. Anthony Mensa, years ago, look up some of this research and on this naming, cosmetically, of how a name should be named, to the cosmos. He did some extensive research. And as an elder, you should maintain or have a certain attitude about yourself. Now, an older is a person, first he starts out, an elder should be at least 55 years old, 55 on this earth, physically. And you should be able to teach and give back. But some of the folks I know in the 50s and the 60s, they upset with, for example, our young people. And they're frustrated, and they get frustrated with me and say, when are you going to retire? I said, first of all, retirement is not in my vernacular. We never retire as Africans. I'm going. So, and retirement is a European way of dealing with industry, the bottom line. So an older is a person who takes it in, but they don't get it back. They're not at peace with themselves. They act like these young kids. It's almost like they get caught in a time warp and don't want to get elderly. Because it's different between being elderly and old. And I don't consider myself old. I mean, we used to live to be 100 in Africa. So, I mean, yeah, Devin, I'm going to call and tell you, as an elder, I'm going to be responsible. Come on, I'm ready, Devin. I'm doing an interview, too. You hear me?
This is going to be an interview. But
Devin?
Now, so he was breaking down the difference between an older and an elder, which was important because he just took his elder responsibility and got on the phone with a brother that's supposed to be over here who's on his way over here. Now, so we kind of talked about your initiation process, the separation. Now we talk more about the separation. Now I want to get to your initiation. What was the process that, in a sense, the universe or you put yourself through or God put you through that allowed you to see that you was responsible for being different?
I think it started with my father. Fortunately, I was there when he took his last breath on earth. And I looked at him, and I held him. And before he died, I didn't know he was going to die, but they ushered me out the room. And when I was sitting there thinking about him, it seemed like I heard him tell me, I try to set a good example for you. Do the right thing. Remember your ancestors. He said that word. I never forget it. And you be all right. And don't worry about me because you don't see me again. I said, wow. And I was sitting there thinking, and pretty soon I got real cold. Then the lady come out.
Something tells me to kill him dead up in this piece. Angry frustrations I shall release, cause I'm about to let loose the beast. Hear ye, all you asshole MCs. It's time to throw a party for it's the doomsday of your leader, Captain Ass-Crack. If you want protection, play the rear. No man in this world I fear. My sound beats down for your protection. I advise you wear headgear. I spilled the beans on Bruce Wayne, known as Batman. Cape no crusader, just your average white man. Who me? I'm black man. More superhero than Letterman. I come